All right, welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on here on this Thursday afternoon. Jay Phillips, Terry Ford with you. Ed Bird at Master Control. We're at the Nest on Gadsden Street today. Saying, hey, they got some good food cooking here. And if you want to cook more good food at your house, you can certainly do that. We'll tell you more about that throughout the afternoon. In the meantime, our good friend David Cloninger is joining us once again. This is twice a week.
I know.
I don't
Man.
know. I don't know who's angrier, him or me.
Oh, DC.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
I don't know. We
I mean,
won't. The good news is the Braves.
I'm with you 5 days a week.
The Braves don't even play today, so we don't have to talk about them at
That's
all.
good, especially after the Giant series.
I'd ask you how you are, but since I talked to you 2 days ago, I don't care enough. But how you doing anyway?
I'm not bad, guys, but you made a mistake. The Braves don't play today. That's true, but they haven't played any day.
Oh,
Ding, 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 ding. He'll be here all week.
There it is. All right, so we
And
did the
also,
offense.
these appearances got to keep coming. I appreciate some financial reasons. Just drop a six pack off.
I was going to say,
I'll see what I can
what
do.
flavor? What flavor beer do you want?
That's,
Cold is my favorite flavor. So.
Our company's really good about that, so we'll see what we can do for you. I promise. All right, so we had the offense on Tuesday. Connor Shaw ended up getting the top spot. We'll come around to the top spot here in a second because, as you put out on your Twitter feed, maybe a little bit of a surprise. But let's give people a 25 through 21. We'll let you comment. Number 25, Debo Williams. 24, Demetrius Knight. Just one season, but it was a heck of a year last year. Number 23, DJ Wanham. 22, my man, Emmanuel Cook. Cook was awesome. 21, Kalimba Edwards. That's a nice starting five. Well, beginning five at least.
And that's the thing, Jay. I mean, I want to reiterate, it's not just me making this call. It was a select panel of folks around for the past 25 years of football around it, maybe in kind of way. And I just weighed out an aggregate score of who I got. Spoiler surprises, one guy that I hated to leave off, but it was just a case of there were just too many other players above him. Huff Matthews is a guy that could have been in there. But it was just like, yeah, I'm sorry, he was a great player. And another one that I really hated to leave off, Shaq Wilson, a guy who was always there, in on every tackle. But it was just, hey, there's just not enough room here. So those are the not the bottom five, but the five of the last top 25.
That's right. Well, and I noticed I mean, again, you asked me to help you out with this, and then I was proud to do it. I put Devontae Holloman on my list, and I know he didn't make it. And that's a tough one too because he was a heck of a player. I'm surprised that you didn't just immediately put all the right guys in there. So
that's true. I mean, Devontae is a heck of a player at his spur position, and of course, it wasn't how he played it. Interceptions, which weighs for a lot around here, but especially with that spur position, Jay. Just think of who all has come through there.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Man, I wish I could rank all of them, but
can't do it.
Can't do it,
I tell you, David, I like the fact going back the old school Kalimba Edwards is nice.
Kalimba's that bridge. We had somebody hit us the other day, David, that I hope that John Abraham's on the list, and I told Terry, I was like, no, Abraham was finished in 99. But he does not cross over. But
he definitely would have. But as I mentioned in the story, Kalimba was so good as a sophomore that they had Abraham at that edge spot, and they said, you know what? Let's move John to linebacker so we can get Kalimba onto the field. That's just when Lim was a sophomore. And John Abraham was the number 13 pick. He was a first rounder. I know that. I think he was number 13.
Yeah.
So it just shows you how good Edwards was.
Definitely a first rounder. Number 20 on the list, speaking of Rock Hill, Coach Simpson. 19, Darian Stewart. 18, the great Ernest Jones had some really good years under Will Muschamp. 17, Kyle Kennard here just for a year last year, but obviously won a national award. And J.C. Horn, first round pick a couple years ago, DC.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I was looking at Coach Simpson, and of course, he's one of my guys. He had an incredible freshman season. He won a freshman of the year. But then I look back through and I'm like, not how good his 05 was. When they really kind of moved him out of position, he was listed at Rover, which is spur position, and then they put him into safety. And it was like, man, he had an even better the team in tackles. So Kyle definitely deserves to be on there despite playing 2 seasons.
Number 15 is Kelsey Quarles. I want to single him out for just a second, kind of in the middle of this list, because I think sometimes, David, Kelsey is that forgotten guy on what ended up being one of the best defensive, probably the best 4 defensive linemen at one season that South Carolina's ever had. When you have Clowney, Ingram, Taylor, and Quarles, man. I mean, that's great for a lot of
That's good, man. And that comes pretty close to what I think would be the starting defensive line on the all-century team. Those more obvious, but as I said in the piece too, Kelsey, you remember the breakout season. He was really, really good before that. You know, his
Yeah.
dad played here on the '84 team. Kelsey definitely deserved a spot.
Number 14 is Jack Brinkley. Number 13, we mentioned Melvin Ingram. 12, Javon Kinlaw, who plays for Davidson Niners. And Kai Kroger. And punters counted on the defensive side. I'm going to vote in for Kai. Again, lots of big names that and I think Kai will do well at the next level. But there's a lot of NFL in there too, PC.
And Jay, I don't mean to be correcting you in front of you people, but Jets
Oh, that's right.
so,
Well, he
yeah,
did
you-
play.
you-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it's the Jets, man.
But anyway, yeah, it is a good list. People are like, Kai Kroger that high? I'm like, yeah. Just look at how many games where he bailed them out of trouble, and that's taken out all the trick play stuff that he could do.
Right.
I mean, obviously Joseph Charlton had a better average for his career, but Kai's right there behind him. And you know, Kai did it for so long. He started as a freshman, and of course, he got thrown in the Clemson game, man. I don't know if I've ever seen a puncher kick over a game like he
Right.
did against Clemson in 2022.
Number 10 is Sheldon Brown. 9, Antonio Allen. 8, DJ Swearinger. 7, Rashad Faison. And number 6, again, the aforementioned Devin Taylor. So before we get to the top 5, DC, now we're into the top 10.
I mean, Rashad Faison, I think we all forget about him, just how good he was. An absolute freight train when he came at you with the tackle. That was all confidence almost his whole career. I know that he didn't have the greatest start to his career. Nobody did.
Not that year.
But he was a terrific, outstanding player. And then just going, down that list, the 6 through 10, it's just guys who are always there. I really wanted to rank DJ Swearinger higher. Yes, he was one of my favorites all time. He's on the list because that guy loved being a Gamecock. And obviously he was involved in some of the biggest moments in school history.
And he brought that little bit of extra swagger that
Mhm.
really came to both during some of those years. And now into the top 5. Number 5, Stephon Gilmore. Number 4, Nick Emmenworth. Number 3, Sky Moore. Number 2, and here we go, kids. Number 2, Jadeveon Clowney. And number 1 is Eric Norwood. So a little twist at the top, sir.
No, exactly, guys. And I know when I put out this list, pretty much everybody was trying to call JD's got to be number 1. And nothing against JD. Again, y'all know what I'm JD. He was 7 years old. But if you look at it, I'm not holding anything up against him. Well, he only stayed 3 and Eric stayed 4. Yeah, he only stayed 3. Number 1 pick in the draft.
Right.
Right.
But
Right.
if you look at and maybe JD probably would have got the sack record to come back. You can't really hold that against him. But you also look at the tackles. The fact how Eric could switch from stand-up edge rusher to put his hand in the dirt to drop him back to play at linebacker. Eric simply never, ever quit. Not that Jadeveon did. But, again, this wasn't just me making the call. It was the aggregate. Some people said Eric's number 1. Some said JD. Bore out. I'm like, well, okay. Certainly nothing against it. But, go ahead and to spoil the surprise. The all-century team, yeah, both them guys are on there as edge rushers.
Yeah.
Just think
Well,
about
and
that.
Norwood had a fantastic. I mean, and this is Gamecocks. This isn't what they did when they got drafted or anything like that. What they did while they were at Carolina, and I think you can make the case as you just did that Eric was such an impactful player, and really, David, in that time as the program was growing, he was instrumental. I think, and I've often, I know you have too, talked about that Ole Miss game where he maybe his finest single performance. That's a debatable point, but certainly one of them that Thursday night game. And I realized that Ole Miss team at the time was in the top 5, didn't finish anywhere close to the top 5, but it was still just one of those. I don't want to say transformational games, but one of those pivotal moments that began to elevate the program under Coach Spurrier.
Sure, that was 2009, and the very next year they win the SEC East for the first and only time. And then JD comes in a year later. That's really where it's like a guy who a foundation. Eric was a good, strong recruit, but he wasn't anything that was like really tickling the nation's fancy. They put him
Right.
in here, and he was kind of undersized, not the speediest. All he did was play his butt off every game and produce.
Catch all of this and more on what David has to say. PostandCourier.com, DCPNC, and Saturday is your all timer.
That'll be it. The All Centuries team and
Or All Century team, yes.
The subscribers to the Gamecocks Now newsletter. There'll be maybe some more names that you can't ever forget. They may not have been the most talented guys, but names you can't ever forget from the highs to the lows. And there'll be a repeat from one of the offensive defensive lists on that other list.
Good stuff, sir. Appreciate
Thank you,
you.
my man.
We'll see you soon.
Appreciate you.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
That's David Cloninger. We are live at the Nest on Gadsden Street. Hey, it's the Post Game Show.
I'm ready. Men's Clinic of South Carolina. We talk about it all the time. If you're a guy, you're getting older, you're just not, your swerve's off. Your juju's not right. And whether it's sleeping, you're just not strong at the gym, you don't recover from exercise like you used to, you can't remember where you set your keys half the time. It's just life drive, personal, professional, just, and that's a medical term. Just call 803-875-MENS, Men's Clinic of South Carolina. Just go in, sit down with Dr. Dan Crew. It's a confidential, free consultation. Tell them your story. It could be low T, which it might just be. They will do lab work. If it comes back low testosterone, then they will put you on a program. This is the best part, specifically designed for you to get you back to feeling you again. 803-875-MENS. Make the call. Get back to being you again. Call the Men's Clinic.
11 minutes in front of 4 o'clock here on a Thursday afternoon. Sorry. Man, I'm taking us backwards. Thursday.
Okay. Here and talk about these.
We do that every day.
These decor appliances, this oven.
Uh-huh.
And what's better than talking about it, this is the evidence. They made the shish kebab, whatever it is, off of the
I think
it's phenomenal.
it's called a shish kebab.
I think
So you got you
Did
nailed
I
it.
get it right?
You nailed it.
All I know is
Good
this.
for you.
Sleeping good, man.
Good for you.
They cooked it on the what it's called is the decor luxury appliance kitchen. They're usually over here at the Nest. Because time, if you value exceptional design, innovative technology, precision performance, if you like cooking really good food like I'm eating right now,
There you
use a decor. They have them here at the Nest, stop by in the Vista, and just say, how will you check out the decor luxury appliance kitchen suite? Trust me, you will not be disappointed because, and if you do this, I'm going to come to your house and eat your food.
Well, now,
This
as I
stuff's
say,
good, man.
yeah, to be clear here, you don't just come down here and cook the food.
No, you take-
you want one of these at your house.
Take it to your house and then
That's
That's okay.
probably better.
decor kitchen, the luxury appliance. Check it out here at the Nest.
All right, DQ. How is it?
It's awesome. It's really good.
I'm just glad you nailed the name.
How about me?
Yeah.
I didn't say Daker. I said decor. I nailed it. I know what's up. You act like I don't understand. I'm close. You think just because I'm from Baltimore that I don't know
Oh,
fine
no.
luxury appliances?
No, I don't think it's that. I think there's
Mhm.
plenty of people in Baltimore that have fine appliances. How to cook.
I'm just not one of them.
You just like to eat, which is probably
Let's
better.
look at 50-50. You know, people like to cook and people like to eat.
Yep.
If you didn't have the people that cooked, you couldn't have the people that eat. But if you had the people that eat, people that cook wouldn't matter.
I like your logic. I like it.
Welcome.
Yeah, we should next time we do a show here, I think I'll come down early and cook.
You should.
Yeah.
I got an apron. Why don't you use it?
I have a chef's coat at the house. You think I'm kidding, don't you?
Hey, goes, you have a chef's coat.
I do.
You have a real chef's coat?
Yep.
Like a real chef?
It's 100% real. Why would I lie to you, man?
I mean, Mom,
No.
after all these years together,
No, I wouldn't lie.
you do a
I
lot.
got it at Epcot.
It's a coat. It's not like an apron. It's like that.
It's a chef's coat. Like what a chef,
It's like real. Like you put that thing on, you better be able to cook.
like when you see the old Emerald show,
Mhm.
and he had that big white
You
coat.
stole that one.
I bought one at
Oh, they had the same thing at Epcot.
yes,
Good question.
in the France Pavilion.
Okay.
They have a big.
Oh, you got it in the
cooking-
France
they
Pavilion.
had a big cooking store back there.
Here's my next question.
Yes.
We always do over under for you. Over under. $20.
Oh, it was
Under.
oh, yeah.
I mean, look, it's Epcot, man.
Oh, wait, well, yeah, it
It's
is.
Epcot.
That's fair, but I mean,
Okay,
because
I'm
I've
just
only, I've honestly, I've probably only done it like a half. Usually, I just cook in whatever I'm wearing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, I don't really worry too much about it.
Mom, Dad's in his underwear cooking breakfast.
No.
again.
Okay,
You don't do that. See, the
No.
generation before us, maybe it didn't happen to you down with your buddies, but like our fathers all walked around the house in their underwear.
Nah, I
My dad would sit in his chair in his tidy whities and watch TV, drink a cup of coffee, and hit a lung dart.
no, that
It made me quite weird.
No,
I was
you
quite
can't.
weirded out as a kid.
did you not ever say, bro?
As he got older, I was like, "Hey, Dad, how?"
Oh.
Yeah, when I was older, I was
Yeah,
as I
you
got
gotta
older,
put on some.
I was like, "Hey, you know a good idea? What boy? Some pants."
I
You know what
honestly,
his line was? You start paying the rent, I'll put the pants on.
well,
You'd run by me all the time.
but you know what? I'd at least dropped a 10 next to him. I tell you what,
Put
man.
on some shorts.
This week's allowance, you keep it.
Put on some
Put on
pants.
some bleeping pants,
Come
man.
on.
And tidy whities, not
Light
even
blue
boxers?
tidy whities.
No,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
No.
I love Dean Ford to death, but that
Oh,
was
I believe
that
you.
was
No,
not
no.
comfortable. I was not
Can't.
comfortable in
Can't.
that situation.
Can't
Especially as
go
I got older.
there. Oh, hey, look, the Phillipses are here. They
Oh.
can vouch for the chef's
The
coat.
chef's coat. Can I vouch for the chef's coat?
Oh, we didn't get a chance yet to do the
No.
vault
We
segment,
will.
but we will. And we have Ed
It's-
Bird is working on getting us a clip, but
it's
I'll just go
really
ahead and
good.
tell y'all what it is. Today is the 42nd anniversary of the George Brett Pine Tar game.
Iconic moment in baseball history, especially of our lifetimes growing up.
Good or bad for George, that's his defining moment. A Hall of Famer, one of the finest hitters to ever play the game. And his defining moment is going bat leap crazy on a group of umpires and Billy Martin. Love it. Hour 2 is coming up. We are live at the Nest on Gas, Jay and Terry, the program. Integrated Media ready to help you get all of your home theater dreams come true. Here at the Nest, you get your home kitchen dreams to become reality. Blend it with what they do at Integrated Media, and you're leave the house. Cook and watch, listen to everything you want to in absolute style, but in Integrated Media, they can do it for you ahead of the football season. They can do it outdoors, one room, whole house, Wi-Fi that works everywhere. And as I've been telling you as well, their business, listen, they're always busy. They are so busy that it is time to grow the staff again at Integrated Media. So they are looking for new technicians and installers, guys and girls that have been doing this for a while and know the business and want to work with great people. If you punch up Integrated Media on Facebook, my good friend Michael Bettis, co-owner of Integrated Media, says all the info is right there. Whether you are a customer or perhaps a future employee, 803-948-8327, the best in home theater. Integrated.
Let me have a stopwatch. Quick check on the Midlands traffic. Long-term construction between I-20 and I-26, exit 64 and Broad River Road. More long-term construction going on I-26 between Bush River Road, exit 108A, and Old Sandy Run Road, exit 125. And finally, more long-term road construction between I-26, Hughie, and I-26. That is a quick check. What's going on? No accidents yet. Keep your fingers crossed on that. That's the long-term road construction issues right now. So good.
All right, 4:00 here on a Thursday afternoon. Welcome back in. Second hour of the post-game show coming at you today, live from the Nest on Gadsden Street in Bristol, a couple of blocks off of today. Alongside Terry Ford, I'm Jay Phillips. A lot of good food down here. The place smells amazing. We got steak kebabs, shrimp. Terry's saying the names of the foods right.
I got shish kebab, man. Look at me.
Yeah.
I know fancy food, Jay.
We got like a charcuterie board of sorts over here.
Mhm. I got shrimp too, man. I got to go to the shrimp too.
All right.
I think,
And lucky for you, man, nothing green.
oh, you know, I won't eat anything green. I'm allergic.
You eat any of that fruit right there?
Oh, fruit is good.
Oh, yeah?
I'll go with fruit. Like I had crunch berries.
No.
I love fruit. I had
No,
crunch
that's-
berries. That's a fruit.
Not fruit.
It ends in the word berry. If it ends in the word berry, it's a fruit. Crunch berry.
As long as you feel good about that, Terry. You feel good.
Uh,
A couple of poll questions today. Start, bench, drop, and if you want to reminisce on Hulk Hogan, then we can do that for you. And Hulk Hogan this morning, 71. So again, I'm serious when I say this too. Two absolute legends in their respective field. I mean, losing Ozzy Osbourne on Tuesday and Hulk today.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's
well, you know,
it's kind of crazy.
it is. Just the idea. This kind of stuff. And look, as we get older, you see these iconic folks. They get older too, and then they start passing away. But when you get two in 1 week, like Ozzy and Hulk, I mean, look, whether you were into wrestling or not, in those 80s and 90s,
or metal or not, like these are
you
transcendent
knew
figures.
these folks because they, I think transcendence is the best word. They transcended their genre.
They both. I had forgotten because again, I don't. Not again. I'm not against it. I don't enjoy reality. Reality. I watched a few episodes of the Osbournes, and that was funny. I never watched the whole. I'd forgotten Hulk Hogan did one.
You know, one with the family,
for like
yeah.
3 years.
Did it for a bit. The daughter was in it,
Yeah.
and mom and all that stuff. Yeah.
But I knew he did, but I had just not. When I was reading the obituary, I was like, you know what? He did one of those too. I was like, so how kind of interesting is that to tie those two guys in together?
Yeah, the other one that was out for a bit, and I only saw like a few. I'm not in reality TV. My bag. You know that.
Yeah, I watched a couple of those too because I like Kiss.
His wife was rather famous for another one.
That was
Shannon Tweed.
Shannon Tweed,
Very
great actress.
Yes, she was. Oh, we will stop there. Feel free. You've got Google. Go get them.
No, don't tell people that. She was on an episode of Frasier.
Was she really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Just one
Just
guest
one?
episode, one guest spot.
She won an Emmy for that, right?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I like Frasier, so I know. But I don't do the reality TV thing, but yeah, to me, reality TV, as I said the other day, is when you call somebody up, right, say they're going to win a new car.
Okay, let me
That's
ask you.
reality.
So is reality TV a bunch of cameras following you around your house?
If that's all they're doing, then sure.
No, not
But
really.
when
Because you
it's
know the cameras.
when
Right? Scripting it
Yeah,
for you.
when it's
Hey, you know what
scripted.
you need to do today? Here's what you
Right.
need to do today in your life.
Yeah.
You're suggesting something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you can tell, like they're sitting there, it's like, and act.
It's so stupid.
Anyway,
But beloved, hey, good for you.
yeah, but
Not going to dog.
but,
Beloved, good for you.
R.I.P. Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
I guess you're absolutely changed wrestling, not necessarily, but because of the character that he was, elevated.
Took it to a level it
Yeah.
had never been before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And at a time when, again, it went from sleepy Saturday morning syndicated television to cable television to pay-per-view, WrestleMania, football stadiums.
Ridiculous, right?
Yeah. We were
Gigantic
talking.
events.
You and I were talking this morning. I said there's Hulk Hogan and there's Ric Flair, and at least to guys in our generation, there were plenty of other big stars. You mentioned a few of them earlier. You go later generations of The Rock and Steve Austin and those guys, and I totally get that too. But we talked about Flair beating Kerry Von Erich
Mhm.
at old Texas Stadium where the
Yep.
Cowboys
Mhm.
and like dang,
Right.
like because remember again TV audience 50 people in some studio in Charlotte or Atlanta,
Right.
or when I went to see a view over at the Township, 2,000 people at the Township. And then here's sold out Texas Stadium plus everybody on the field.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
100,000 people, man.
It's crazy.
Like that happened in the 80s because of those two personalities. And then Hulk with WrestleMania. Again, started at Madison Square Garden, outgrew the Garden.
Yep.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's insane, man.
Like, and what was the first pay-per-view when it was Andre and
Hulk.
Yeah. The first pay-per-view, 33 million folks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
At that time.
That's crazy.
It just started like now WrestleMania. What are they? WrestleMania 114 or whatever it is.
Right.
And and Tyler can tell you everybody who's wrestling in it and everything.
Yeah.
And but for me, again, we watched the beginning of that with Hulkamania, and it was a thing. It was absolutely. I remember when I first started watching any of it was when Cyndi Lauper and Captain Lou Albano and all that stuff started happening.
Well, because she had him in her video, and they get all the MTV and it crossed all over,
and it just blew up. And then Hulk came in with all that and took it to another level, and it became a $1 bazillion business.
Yeah.
And look, Vince McMahon is a genius. I mean, Vince McMahon is a business,
Sure.
a genius in a lot of ways.
Sure.
Let's face it. He needs to cut checks to the Hulk family, even after Hulk has passed along, for what Hulk helped build for Vince McMahon.
Absolutely. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Hulk was well compensated. I hope there's a lot left over.
They brought him back as a quote unquote ambassador or whatever there in the later years to come jump back in, because he had some moments.
I was going to say
yeah.
he definitely strayed a little off the beat.
Some things happened. Well, and he was one of those guys. Again, something happened on not the video thing that everybody saw, but there's another video of him talking.
Yes.
That got him in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
And for a while, they had to, the wrestling community had to distance themselves from Hulk.
And they did for like
5 years. 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah. And then he came back in the fold.
Yeah.
And
made some very, I thought, heartfelt apologies.
Absolutely. And then, of course, he had the video, the next video.
The other one.
That really, again, he got, he settled for like $100 million.
Yeah. And put that company out of business.
Yep.
And he should have. That I'm glad he won that one.
I agree too. But anyway, it's just, I mean, look.
And if you're wondering why we're being coy, you need to go look it up.
Yeah, you go look it up.
We're not gonna,
this is not the place.
We're not gonna
we're cooking shish kebab. This is not the place for that conversation.
Depending on where you're finding obituaries of Hulk Hogan today, all these stories are readily available.
And look, again, he's a guy that as we grew up, we watched the changing, just like with Ozzy, and the kind of the opening of metal.
Right.
And again, that cross with MTV and then Ozzy popping solo and things of that nature. Yeah. So we've seen two iconic figures in the span of like 3 days.
Well, I'll say the word again, transcendent. I mean, and even if you didn't like what they did, if you'd never watched a single match of professional wrestling, if you never listened to a single Ozzy Osbourne song, and you might be into the reality TV things or just whatever. These are two men that elevated their profession.
Yep.
Crossed them into the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And deserve a ton of credit for being able to do that, for being that force of personality today. Because look, in some ways, so much of what that is scripted. I mean, Ozzy writes his songs and goes out and plays.
And Hulk,
again, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat what professional wrestling is.
Or I mean,
but you still got to pull it.
Well, the thing was, it's funny when you hear and people who are really into wrestling will jump right in all the time.
Again, second time today, it's still real.
Oh, my uncle was the guy. He gets you in the headlock on the couch.
Oh, listen, you can put somebody in the figure 4 leg lock, and it will hurt.
Oh, well, let me tell you, I suplexed a kid when I was 11 years old, and guess what? He cried.
Yes,
it was painful. And as I put him, I just picked him up. Gave him the old.
What was the sleeper?
Yeah, the sleeper. Really, if you hold it long enough.
So one time, I got to say this, and my wife is actually here. She may or may not remember this. There was one night.
Put her to sleeper?
No. There's one night where a bunch of us we had gone out to 5 Points, and we come back, and in particular, I forget who was fighting whom, but there was a particular wrestling program was on television. This is like midnight, right, on like a Friday or something, and. It's getting heated. It's in some big arena, and they would distract the ref.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
To the ref.
So they distract the ref, and this guy takes a belt. I wish I could remember who was fighting him. Dude takes a belt, and he just starts choking the guy. He's choking choking him. There's no sleeper hold. There's no wrestling move. He's choking the guy. Yeah, we're just sitting there dying like you're distracting the ref. There's police. This is how angry they are. He's trying. I was like, he's gonna kill him, and the crowd is going crazy.
They're right? That's the thing about it that you love. Is it they're committing massive assault, right?
He's killing the guy.
And people are cheering. The ref is getting, his attention taken away. You do have police in the building, and everybody's like,
just
turning colors. Because eventually, in the script, you have to let him go, right?
Thank God, you distracted the ref.
Just the ref.
He's just and then again, the crowd was going nuts.
It's so good.
I'm like, oh, we love it. He's dying
It's so
in the
good,
ring.
man.
It wasn't Hulk or Rick, but it was some. But I'll never forget. That's the fun of professional.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and the thing is, like, and our generation, it got more of where the wrestling was letting you in on the skit. We look, it's scripted, guys, but the generation before us, like my uncle thought that stuff was real.
Sure.
And if you told him it wasn't, he's ready to fight you in the yard.
Well, imagine like the NCAA wrestling championships. All right, it's like Iowa versus Oklahoma State.
Chairs.
And you like distract the ref, and then somebody starts choking the guy.
Choke him with a belt, and all of a sudden you take the belt off and you pin him.
It's like, what happened?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I was distracted.
I always thought it was great, like because that's we always used to say that's real wrestling in college. Yeah, some dude just popping a chair on a guy and then pinning him with the refs turned around, and it just it was fun. And it got to the point where really the matches were secondary to everything happening outside the ring. Remember, it got to that point.
That's the storyline.
And then the matches were like, okay, well, that was a match.
Yeah. Well, again, the guy getting choked, like I was talking about with the bell, he probably deserved it.
You know what? I guess.
Anyway, see, that's what we can do. You can smile through it as we celebrate the life of Hulk Hogan, who I don't think ever killed anybody in the ring, which is good. But Hulk was again,
allegedly
absolutely a larger than life figure, literal and figurative. All right, we'll come back on the other side. Our good friend Mike Waddell, the former associate athletics director at Arkansas, Illinois, the AD at Houston for a bit up in Maryland, up Terry's way, and now part of the team at the North Carolina Sports Network, along with David Glenn. They've been covering ACC today. What did Dabo have to say? How did Bill Belichick treat people? We'll get into that and more with Mike and David when the postgame show returns live from the Nest. All right, welcome back in. 17 minutes after 4 o'clock on this Thursday. Alongside Terry Ford, I'm Jay Phillips, again broadcasting live today. Not too far from where we typically are broadcasting.
Where are we typically at?
That way?
That way?
Yep.
All right, over there?
Yep.
All right, nice.
That's how it is. And we're going to point that way now and welcome in not only my good friend, longtime friend, Mike Waddell, but also one of his partners in crime, the great David Glenn, who knows what we do up in North Carolina. They both have been covering ACC Media Days. And boys, if I say SEC Media Days, because I was there all last week, I apologize. I know where you've been. I know where I've been. They all kind of blend together after a while. Mr. Waddell, good to have you. And David, good to talk with you again. How were things in the Queen City this week? How would you expect?
Absolutely. I mean, I went to my first ACC football kickoff back in 1991. David probably a few years before that. And there was a lot of intrigue around this year's event. Obviously, everybody was pointing towards the day where you had Dabo Swinney and Dave Dorn and Manny Diaz, Bill O'Brien, Brent Fry, and Bill Belichick in there. And so it was a fun way to come to the conclusion of the 2025 event there in the Queen City.
Obviously, you got some interesting personalities like Dabo's, just interesting to hear what he has to say. But Bill Belichick, how comfortable did Bill Belichick look at ACC Media Day? Because we know Bill, what he did as an NFL head coach, now he's got to pretend he actually wants to engage with the ACC. How did that go? Did he seem as uncomfortable as I thought he would be?
I'll tackle that with PG here. I would say this for starters. In the 30-plus years that I've been attending these events, this is the very first time that any head coach, football or men's basketball, skipped Radio Row entirely. And for those who don't know, just picture, 30 tables, 100-plus people in our industry there, and sometimes spending thousands of dollars to get there. To interview everybody. And guess what? Back in the day, Dean Smith and Mike Krzyzewski would come to Radio Row in basketball. And Bobby Bowden at Florida State back in the day would come to Radio Row in football. Dabo Swinney does it every single year as well. Bill Belichick decided not to do it. I'm convinced that he's the first person who's ever done that. There were some mandatory appearances on the ACC network, and there's kind of a big ballroom that you have to do. I guess they consider Radio Row optional, and as has been his reputation, he opted out of the optional part, and he did his 15 minutes on stage in the ballroom, and then there might have been another period in a breakout room. But, I wouldn't say he was awkward during 15 minutes. He did smile. He called people by name. He did politely answer the questions asked of him, but definitely not his favorite thing to do, meaning dealing with the media.
Yeah, it never has been. And David, kind of staying with that, with the stories coming out of Chapel Hill, and I'm not going to get into the soap opera stuff. This is going to be football related, but how much, in your opinion, is what's happening there with a guy like this? Because look, Dabo has done his thing, and there are other really big names that are either in the ACC right now or certainly happen. And you just mentioned a few of them in football, but North Carolina now is maybe going to invest in a way they never have. A, how accurate is that from a football-only perspective? And B, how much is that going to force other schools' hands that aren't named Clemson, Florida State, and Miami?
Yeah, Jay, the first part, it is absolutely positively accurate to say that UNC is investing in football more than at any time. I mean, if you want to go back to the late 1800s, I mean, that's a factual statement. There's only a handful of coaches, and they include the likes of Kirby Smart at Georgia, multiple national titles, Dabo Swinney at Clemson, multiple national titles. There's only a handful making more money than Bill Belichick, $10 million a year. They have also built out an infrastructure. From a former NFL GM, Mike Lombardi, who's been with Bill Belichick, like dating back to his Cleveland Browns days, a lifetime ago, but also just more support staff, more NFL-style nutritionists, and just the behind the scenes people in much greater numbers than I've ever seen, and I've covered the Tar Heels since 1987. So there's no doubt this is the biggest whack at the piñata that UNC football has ever taken. We'll see how it plays out. And I do think more broadly, it's not just Clemson winning at a high level or Carolina investing at a high level. I think, and Dabo even said, he believes there's a super league coming in college football. And whereas Clemson knows it would get invited to that super league if it happens, let's say 5 or so years from now, when certain TV deals expire, not everybody else is sure they'd be invited because of their football product. And Carolina's famous for men's basketball and famous for, women's soccer and all sorts of other Olympic sports, but it's not as famous in football. And I think UNC and others are investing more in football, A, because they're tired of falling so far behind the SEC and Big Ten financially in the TV deal. But B, they want to make themselves desirable options for that hypothetical super league, whether that's, Miami, Louisville, UNC, or somebody else, when we know Clemson and Florida State would be the two that would almost automatically be invited from the ACC.
Hey, Mike, we've seen, I guess, some of the messaging coming out of the ACC, starting with the commissioner, Jim Phillips, no relation to Jay, and also some of the coaches. But looking at the league as a whole, when it comes to expanding to 9 games or 5-11 in the college football playoff, where does it feel like the conference is going as a whole if you had a chance to get a majority vote?
I think they like the 5-11 vote. The coaches that we talk to have that opinion. I think that the league, if you accept the 4-2, you're admitting the fact that you're what you are, a second-tier league. I mean, it's obvious through the money that it's the Big Ten and the SEC, then the ACC, and then the Big 12. I mean, the money is right there. It does not lie. But, down the line, maybe some other things happen, but I think that 5-11 mark is really the way to go. And I think the commissioner said it best when he addressed it on Tuesday, that, if the SEC would move to that 9th game, then he would anticipate that the ACC would do the same. So it's almost like they're drawing up sides that the ACC and the SEC will be, more like one another. And maybe it's overstating it, but then the Big 12 and the Big 10 would be more alike. And, why not? They basically have the same TV partners as is lining up like that. So maybe that's what you'd expect.
Look at Mike Waddell and David Glenn. They've been covering the ACC kickoff event, Media Days event up in Charlotte these last couple of days, both at the North Carolina Sports Network. David, kind of piggybacking off of what Mike just said right there, we know so much these days that the Southeastern Conference and Big Ten have been somewhat marching in lockstep, although they clearly are at odds when it comes to a CFP format. But we've also talked a lot around here about the 4 permanent in-state rivalry games that are played between the ACC and the SEC. South Carolina, starting this year, has 7 straight years of games with additional ACC opponents. Clemson is obvious, but there's a game with Virginia Tech, then 2 with Miami, 2 with North Carolina, and 2 with North Carolina State. Is there going to be a push to have more of that? Should there be some form of more formal partnership? How feasible might that be amongst the schools that aren't already?
Well, Jay, as you often hear, follow the money is part of the answer to that question, because remember, the Atlantic Coast Conference is more than 70 years old. And for about 70 years, they shared the conference's money equally, meaning mostly TV money, but also some sponsorship money, bowl money, NCAA tournament money, etc. So from 70 years of roughly equal revenue sharing, meaning every school got a similarly sized check once a year from the league office, they have dramatically pivoted away from that. And the reason I bring it up is that part of the new formula is how many TV eyeballs you draw. And so Florida State and Clemson, which tend to draw the biggest TV audiences in football among the ACC schools, they know that their fans watch in large numbers, whether they're having a great year or a lesser year. Most of these other ACC schools, when they're on, lots of people watch. When they're down, lots of people, give up on the season. Now there is a direct financial incentive in how the ACC carves out the check and how much TV eyeballs you can draw to the table in a given year. And there's also what they call a success initiative, where if you make a college football playoff, or in basketball, you make the NCAA tournament, and maybe you advance in one of those, you actually get more money based on the success on the field, on the court, and you make more money based on this brand new, like starting this coming year, the TV metric. So scheduling factors into all of that. The more high-profile teams you schedule, SEC and otherwise, in your non-conference, the more TV eyeballs you're going to draw. And the more you have that cupcake city, the smaller TV audiences you're going to have. So, I mean, it's not just a tweak of their revenue sharing model. It is a dramatically different one, such that in some years, one school's going to get a $75 million check from the ACC office, and another school's going to get a $50 million check. And that's just never been the case in the history of this league, but that's one of the factors in how they're going to schedule moving forward.
It's going to be fascinating to see how this turns out, and I don't think this is going to happen, but God forbid the ACC goes the way of the Pac-12, because that didn't need to happen. And so hopefully these new things, at least in the short term, will get it fixed. Hey, boys, appreciate it. We could go on for days, but we'll get you again here certainly during the course of the season. But David, I've known Mike a long time. He's an awesome dude. So we used to joke around together about where we'd be at some point in life when we were in high school. So look at us now. I don't know if that's good or bad, man, but
hey, he speaks highly of you as well, just so you know.
Yeah. Well, appreciate it, guys. We'll holler at you. Mr. Waddell, be good. We'll talk to you all soon.
You're the man, Jay Bird. Thank you, guys. Take care, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you all. There you go. That's Mike Waddell and David Glenn, North Carolina Sports Network.
Accident reported at Bar Road near US 1 West Main Street, Augusta Highway. Also long-term construction again, I-20, I-26. Broad River Road, exit 65. Also more long-term construction between I-26, Bush River Road, exit 8A, and Old Sandy Road. And finally, 26, Eugene, and 26. More long-term that never ends.
No, it won't either.
There's your check on the traffic here on the game.
All right, welcome back in. Post-game show rolls on from the Nest. We're halfway through it on this Thursday. Jay Phillips, Terry Ford with you. We got some breaking news I'm going to get to in just a second. Let me reset a couple of things first. Our start bench dropped today, and I apologize, I've not yet thrown this out on Twitter because we've gotten busy here at the Nest. But the start bench dropped today. These bucket list moments, again, specifically Masters Sunday. Not just going to do Augusta National for any of the days, but specifically Masters Sunday when they put a green jacket on somebody.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The Rose Bowl. Just a minute. You can also hit us on the Firehouse Subs text line. This is breaking news literally moments ago. President Trump today has signed an executive order prohibiting third-party pay-for-play payments. This is from Garrett Hockey of the NBC News team that covers White House news. Prohibits, again, third-party pay-for-play payments to college athletes. The White House says they hope this will curb bidding wars that have been part of college sports in recent years. I apologize. I'm trying to get through this. It says recent court rulings have dismantled the NCAA's transfer and recruiting rules and created a chaotic environment that threatens the financial and structural viability of college athletics. There's more that's coming in here. Look, for one thing, and this isn't me being political, this is an executive order.
Right.
This is not a law.
No, it's not a law. You're right.
This is very difficult to enforce. Also, and let's not be naive here, bidding wars in college athletics have been. That's why there's an NCAA.
Right.
That goes back a century or more. I don't really know what kind of effect this is going to have.
I don't either.
It's an interesting step. It is certainly one that can, I think, energize a political base to some degree, but it's not a law.
No, and there's another part of this. The order also looks to protect women's and non-revenue sports by mandating that revenue sharing for universities and college athletes be implemented in a manner that protects those programs.
Well, there's a couple of bills that are running through Congress right now that attempt to do some of this. Again, one of the biggest one, the SCORE Act, wants to get an antitrust exemption, and I do not believe that is going to happen. No. An executive order can maybe at least have some type of immediate effect of kind of, my words here, kind of snapping you into attention.
Yeah.
A little bit. But again, it's not enforceable.
No.
So
it's not a law.
No. I mean, it's not a law. And so, I mean, if you break it, nothing's going to happen. I mean, you can get hollered at.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say, because you know a little more about politics than I do. But is this something that is this way for a president in general to look at Congress and say, I want you to do something about this.
Yeah, yes. Typically, that's what in a situation like that. That's what this. Hey, I'm here to try to just, I say, kind of move things along. All right, get going on this so that we can get past the nonsense. That's what this primarily is going to attempt. But again, it can't really be enforced.
And
It isn't like the executive branch is going to have the means. Again, you can't go after anybody for anything they do. You want them to follow this,
right, but they don't have to.
but they don't have to.
And the other thing here is very vague about protecting non-revenue sports and women's sports.
Yeah.
It just says, do it. Just protect it.
Right.
How?
And,
I don't know. Just go do it.
Yeah.
Just go do
So
it.
I suppose I could say on some sense I applaud the effort, but
Again,
it's not a law.
no, and really, at the end of the day, this thing, if you don't get an antitrust exemption, the only way anything's going to get fixed is how, Jay?
Collective bargaining. I would keep working.
Why don't we get a presidential order for collective bargaining?
Right. Can't do that either because
Can't
it's not
do
a law.
that either because it's not a law.
Yeah. So we'll see. That just came down, and more will probably come out. Some more detail of what may be in this executive order, and we'll have that for you at the top of the 5 News coming up in just a little bit.
How's that poll going?
Yeah, let me get to the poll question now. We have 2 poll questions running for you today on football scheduling. The first one out again on Twitter in just a second. The first one: if the SEC moves to a 9-game conference schedule, would you want to see the league continue to mandate at least one non-conference game against a Power 4 opponent? The SEC currently does that. You got your 8, and you must play somebody every year from a Power 4 conference. A, yes, 4 good games. B, no, that's hard enough. Or C, will the CFP committee care? Right now, 52% of you say yes, that's 4 good games. 26% say no, that's hard enough. And 22% are asking if the CFP committee will care. Now, I piggyback off of that one to my next question, because again, 26% of you said no, that's hard enough if you have 9 conference games. Now, if you're a Carolina fan, would that mean the end of the Clemson series and the Clemson rivalry? So I put a follow-up poll, and that is, if the SEC goes to 9 games in league play, if you're a Gamecock fan, do you still want Clemson on the schedule? A, of course. B, I guess so. C, nope. Right now, 78% of you say of course, with 15% saying nope, and 7% saying I guess so. I even had one guy hit me on Twitter and say, I don't want to play Clemson ever again in any. I was like, all right.
I'm surprised 15% said no. Are you? I mean, you lived here a little longer than me.
I have. I think, yeah, I am. But again, here's the rub. And this is, it's like, can you have it both ways? Look, you're not going to look. Carolina Clemson's not going in. So
Right.
I'm not. Again, I ask this more in a hypothetical sense of, do you see what it is that you're getting to here now? Does that mean Carolina fans want 9 conference games? Clemson makes a 10th, really hard game, and then you want 2 against who? Right?
Mhm.
Again, I make no secret of the fact that I am for all Power 4 versus Power 4. Period. That really should be a separate division these days. And if you want to find a way to get your Memphises and Tulsas and a couple of other schools that are still floating around out there into the so-called Power 4 structure, let's work on that. But FCS games along on these schedules, a bulk, in my opinion, of group of 5 or 6 games. Let's find a way to get Boise into the mix. Let's find a way to maybe get Memphis, get Tulsa, maybe in East Carolina, Marshall, a few others that want to be there, or just Southern maybe.
Mhm.
You see the point. I could go on for a few others, but there's some schools like, brother, do you really there's a lot of schools that want to get into FBS these days, so they can get a couple of home checks.
Absolutely.
And that's the only reason.
Sure.
Like God bless you, Charlotte. You got no business being the FBS. Sorry.
Which one? The Panthers or the University? I thought something was interesting that we were talking here a little bit ago at the ACC media. Was it David brought it up about they're discussing the Super League stuff is coming
Right.
back up again, and this pops up every now and then, Jay. Right? Every now and then somebody says something about a Super League, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, Super League!" And I mean, and really, it is almost an interesting question. If you started a Super League tomorrow, Clemson gets invited. Florida State, I guess, would get invited
They would.
still.
They would.
And then if we're going by just football, now we're not going by brands, all these other things you and I talk about, because North
Right.
Carolina is a gem for a lot
Yeah.
of reasons.
But North Carolina's
North Carolina, I
they're
think, would
getting,
get
they're
in.
getting,
And then you have
and the
to
Hurricanes
go
probably. Hurricanes probably.
Miami, yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah, I would say Miami. So you're probably looking at those four as a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But after that, who? That's the question.
It is.
And
I
if
mean,
you
where is Georgia Tech in that? Where's Virginia Tech in that? Where's Pittsburgh in that? Where's Louisville in that? I think those are schools that care. Again, it's an interesting ACC case study.
Yeah.
But North Carolina's getting into that Super League.
Oh, yeah. I think that's the gem.
Yeah, they're getting
That is the gem that for everything we've talked about over the years, you and I, North Carolina
We'll
is
get
the one.
we'll get some more Star Pinch Drop again. Star Pinch Drop, Master Sunday, Rose Bowl, Super Bowl, and on the other side, a little J.
I like it. Well, I might not. I'm giving him a massage right now. I'm giving him a massage. My new friend, my buddy is getting a massage.
Everybody know it's a dog. Please, immediately. You're listening to the post game show. All right, welcome back in. Final few minutes of our second hour. Headlines of the day coming up on the other side of the 5 o'clock hour. For you. We're live at the Nest today. Thanks for great hospitality.
All I know is that decor, what's it called here? That decor award-winning kitchen appliance over there, that oven stove, whatever you want to call that, what's the fancy thing? It's a sweet. Sweet. Oh no, that shish kebab they made in that thing.
Yep.
The shrimp was good. The
Sure.
steak was good.
Everybody
I think they
ate
cooked the fruit.
No, they didn't cook.
Sure about that?
Yeah, it's a fridge.
Yeah,
It's probably one of these fridges, though.
I'm telling you, man.
Nice.
Nice.
Everybody ate all the kebab
Yeah,
shrimp before
well,
I had a chance.
That's because you just sat here and
I tried
did
to
your
be,
job.
try to be
What's
they
polite?
you got a charcuterie plate. over
Polite
there.
got you nothing.
Oh, it got me some charcuterie. Everybody got the other meats.
Everybody
so
got full on the
just
kebabs.
have some,
Oh,
over
learn your
there,
lesson
some
there, man.
salami, some cheese. Nice.
Mhm.
I'm here.
I had the cookies too. Cookies were good. I had to sample all of them,
I-
not to be rude.
Just threw this out on Twitter, so I've
Mhm.
only gotten one hit so far. Robert just hit me. Start Masters Sunday, bench the Super Bowl, drop the Rose Bowl.
Interesting.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll get more of those in just a little bit. All right, it's Jay or Nay time.
I know I forgot to tell Ed Bird about the music. That's on me.
It is on you.
That's on me, Ed Bird. I should have had some match game or prices right or something here. That's on me. Totally forgot.
You want me to do the match game baseline?
Go ahead, Rick. Ready to
Wow.
All right.
Boom,
Time for a little Jay or nay?
boom. All right.
All right, Jay or nay. Tim Phillips talking about the possibility or at least the investigation of the ACC possibly partnering up with maybe sports betting companies or organizations. Jay or nay on collegiate conferences getting in bed with the FanDuels of the world?
Well, look, I'm gonna see. That's one where sometimes I'll ask you is there a caveat I could put into this. On the surface, I'm going to say nay
Mhm.
because I just think it opens up some. And again, I am not anti-gambling on any kind of moral grounds or anything like that. I'm really more about it on integrity. And we've already seen some things in professional sports, and eventually it's going to drift into collegiate sports, especially with some of these like micro bets, like the quick props
Mhm.
and things like that. But Terry, the ACC needs the money, and if you can find a creative way to do it, then I get it. So, look, I'd say nay, but it's going to be a nay. They're going to look into it, and they're going to say, I'm going to do it.
Well, it's all about the Benjamins
Yeah,
now, man. It's
they're
all about
gonna-
money.
Yeah, they're
It
going
just is.
to. They'll do it.
And whether you want to play, they say, well, that's really hypocritical. Hey, that doesn't matter. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
You hear a lot about professional sports
Yeah.
now. All right, Jay or nay, sir. Matt Rule at Big Ten Media Days said to defend Scott Frost. When Scott Frost had the Nebraska job, it wasn't a good job. Now that Matt Rule's got the Nebraska job, it's going to be a great job. Jay or nay on Nebraska being a great job under Matt Rule?
Under Matt Rule,
Mhm.
nay. If you were just going to say on Nebraska being a great job, I'm like, yep, from 2000 and earlier. It's not anymore, Terry. It's a good job. They have a lot of money.
Mhm.
They have a lot of history. They have a good fan
Mhm.
base.
Can you
But-
move it? Can you
but-
move it to a warmer weather?
Right. But Nebraska, in my opinion, look, they may pop every once in a while. In
Yeah.
fact, I believe they will pop every once in a while because a lot of schools pop. But in terms of any type of prolonged, sustained success like you and I were accustomed to, people of our generation, ain't happening. Ain't happening.
Now, to your
It's a
point, real
good job.
quick.
It's a good
I
job.
think it can be a place where they win, but not win at that level they won
No, but-
before in any way,
no,
shape, or form.
Not happening.
All right, last one. This is more of a pick it, not Jay or nay, but just
Okay.
good guy Hulk Hogan or bad guy Hulk Hogan.
Good guy Hulk Hogan.
Really?
Because that's really, good guy Hulk Hogan. Because good guy Hulk Hogan, listen, like I said, I'm a kid of the 80s, and I, appreciated the fact that back then wrestling got into geopolitics in ways that today it probably just can't, which is probably for the best for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik,
That was the thing.
that
man.
was thing. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, it just was. And now you realize that Iron Sheik is, he's probably some dude from, Jersey,
Name's Alfred.
you know. Um, but when that happened,
Mhm.
that I remember that being a thing. That was good guy Hulk Hogan. So I'm gonna remember that as my favorite Hulk Hogan moment.
Very
Good
nice.
guy Hulk Hogan.
All righty, little J or nay there. Also, Stephen on the chat line says, start the Masters on Sunday, bench the Super Bowl, and cut the Rose Bowl. Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate
Yeah,
you.
again, start bench drop. Masters Sunday, specifically. Masters Sunday, Rose Bowl, Super Bowl. Hit us up on Twitter, on the YouTube page, or on the Firehouse Sub text line. Again, headlines of the day coming up. More on President Trump's executive order trying to fix college sports.
Griffin.
Griffin Pools and Spas ready to help you. Listen, we've had a lot of like dreams today that could become reality, right? We've talked about home theater, talked about kitchens and bathrooms, the things you want becoming a reality. And now with Griffin Pools and Spas, how about that backyard vacation spot becoming a reality? Griffin Pools and Spas has been in business since the 1970s, turning backyards into fantastic oases for all kinds of your friends and neighbors. And now it's your turn. Stop in and see the folks at Griffin. Let them come to you, obviously. And listen, they want to do this as quickly as possible with as little disruption as possible. But you are building a pool after all. So they'll tell you all about the process and get you ready for it. And soon enough, bang, there it is. Whether it's just something small to kind of lounge around, or whether it is something that you want to see that's almost resort style, if you can dream it up, they'll find a way to get it done in your backyard. You already have a pool, they'll help you clean, have some fun with it, plus other accessories like grills to cook with around the pool and the deck. Stop in and see them. Steps away from the Lake Murray Dam in Lexington, GriffinSpas.com.
Oh, another check on the traffic for this afternoon. Not a whole lot has changed from the last time we hit it. There's a lot of construction slowing down traffic between I-20 and 26, 64 to 65 Broad River Road. Also, I-26 Bush River Road and Old Sandy Run Road and long-term construction Eugene Street and I-26. So again, you ready for these slowdowns and an accident reported at Bar Road near West Main Street, Augusta Highway. That's your check on the traffic. We'll come back 5 o'clock news here on the
It is 5 o'clock news time on this Thursday. Welcome back in. Also, the final hour of the post-game show alongside Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. We're broadcasting today from the Nest on Gadsden Street in the distance off of Gervais Street. By and say, hey, got a little snacks out here. Jeff Haley is signing autographs.
Well, Jeff signed autographs. I think he put together the Twitter report with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Without gloves.
I don't know.
Look at.
Jeff's very.
You think Jeff's? Do you think you going already? Jay or Nay on Jeff's hygiene? Where are we going? Jay on Jeff. Yeah. Lean to Nay. It's your segment.
Jeff. I can tell he shaved today. He's good.
Shaved today. Yeah. Did Jeff grow facial hair? I don't think I've ever seen Jeff with facial hair ever. I've never seen Jeff with a 5 o'clock shadow. I've never seen anything. I don't think Jeff can grow.
Well, that's permanent.
I bet you also you saw Jeff's legs would be no leg. Jeff might be one of those guys that just can't grow.
I don't know. We'll see.
Jeff, lift up your pants.
No, let's not.
Lift up your pant leg, Jeff.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Jeff, you keep your pants right where they are.
Come on, Jeff.
Let's get to the news.
Lift them up. Lift them up.
Let's get to the news of the day. President Trump today has signed an executive order that will prohibit what the order says are third-party pay-for-play payments to college athletes. The White House says they hope to curb bidding wars that have been part of college sports in recent years. According to NBC, the order was shared and note with NBC in advance, and notes that recent court rulings have basically stripped the NCAA's transfer and recruiting rules and, quote, created a chaotic environment that threatens the financial and structural viability of college athletics. According to NBC News, this article, and this is seemingly somewhat of an opinion, Terry, says the order could send shockwaves through college football and men's basketball, where player recruitment in the so-called transfer portal has become a multi-million-dollar market in recent years, with top teams spending millions to fill out their rosters. It would not apply. The order would not apply to what they call fair market compensation.
So what would they deem as fair market compensation?
Well, there's a good question. We'll come back around to that in a second. It looks to protect women's and non-revenue sports by mandating that revenue sharing between universities and athletes be implemented in a manner that protects those programs. The order also says that laws across 30 states have contributed to competitive imbalance in college sports. I won't disagree with that last point, and I won't disagree that there is chaos. Unfortunately, from what I know of how executive orders work, this really isn't going to do anything because, again, an executive order is not a law.
No.
And a president of the United States can't just sign an executive order and have that become a thing.
I was going to say, it doesn't supersede law.
It doesn't. It's not enforceable in that sense. Now, again, can this be a call to order, a call to attention, a, hey, get your head out of your ear in kind of moment? Sure. And that's more than likely what this is going to be. There are two bills trying to work through Congress right now that address a lot of this. And we already know, for instance, that the new College Sports Commission and what they're doing with Deloitte is attempting to bring some of this in. But remember, Terry, just last week, not even a month into the new House settlement, the College Sports Commission had to issue new guidelines that basically will allow schools' collectives, should they still have some, and some schools are getting rid of theirs, to to operate the way they had been. Remember, for a little bit, it's like, well, collectives can't do what they were doing, and the collectives are like, we're going to sue you, and here's why we're going to sue you, because who are you to say that we, the collective, can't pay John Q. quarterback to do a 1 hour meet and greet for $20,000?
You know what you're doing? You're limiting the ability of that young man to make money.
Yeah, and if somebody's willing to pay you,
Yeah.
and so look, I get what the schools want. All of you listening get what the schools want. Some schools can afford it, some schools can't. Some schools are going to have more than look. That's America.
Right.
I mean, I can't really, and I know you want to find a way to do what the NFL has done. Again, we talk often about the irony in that the NFL, which is run and owned by men and women that are worth trillions collectively, is probably the most well-run socialist athletic organization on the planet.
Yes.
But it's done through collective bargaining.
Yes. And that's where this comes back to. At the end of the day, you can't do this. You can't limit the income potential of an adult in this country. You can't
Without
do
their
it
consent.
without their consent. You get their consent by collectively bargaining by, okay, I get this, you get that, I get this whole, we're going to tell you not to do it. Why? Because we're the NCAA,
Right.
we're the university. Those days are done, because you know what it was for about 80 years, Jay? It was called illegal.
Yeah.
And even
And
with
nobody
this-
challenged.
Nobody challenged. Now, this presidential order is saying, sort of like, I guess you say NBC, their post, I'm not going to put words in anybody's mouth, about, look, you can't stop the transfer portal either.
Right.
And what was wondering, if you're going to say, okay, third parties can do this or that, then you got to be clear in your order. Okay, what can be done then? Because I can still take my rev share money and spend X amount of it on bringing in athletes through the transfer portal in college football or at these universities.
And people say, well, but I want it to go back to the old way. I understand that part of it. And again, an executive order can't stop any of this. It just can't. But the point that kids and their attorneys and their families make when it comes to the transfer portal is, if I wasn't an athlete and I was going to college, if I wanted to go, look, it was just you or me, and I wanted to go to Carolina for a year, and then transfer to Charleston for a year, and then transfer to Coastal for my
I know
third year,
people who have done it. Yes.
and then come back to Carolina to graduate.
Mhm.
You can do it. Yeah. But well, athletes can't do it. And look, I get that it's chaotic, and I get that you want some curbs on it, and there should be some curbs on it as long as it's collectively done.
You know how you get guardrails?
You collectively do it.
bargain.
So that's what this all is going to always come back around to. And
Yes.
yesterday, if you didn't see it, 5 state attorneys general came out basically railing against this latest legislation, not this executive order, but this latest legislation that's in Congress, the SCORE Act, by basically saying all this is going to do is take a lot of what the NCAA was, where they got bumped in federal court, and return some of that power to them, because the NCAA is saying, please, 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 we know we messed up real bad. And yes, we're going to pay the players this time, but we still want to have control over them. And that's not going to fly in a free country. It's
No.
just not, unless, and
Say
I,
it.
I know you keep, some of you are getting tired of it, unless you collectively bargain.
Tyler and I joked at the drinking game every time you say CBA, because that's what it's got to be.
That's what it's got to
collectively
be.
bargained.
And we've had several coaches at different media day stuff. We had Danny White, the latest from Danny White, the AD at Tennessee, saying, we got to start working toward this. He's right. I hope he begins to lobby his fellow ADs in the SEC and around the country to get on board with this. Let's expend our energy on finding a way to do that, where maybe there is a small fine line to not have them be full-time employees, but there's a lot of part-time employees that have collective bargaining agreements with their employees.
I heard a couple of people, obviously a lot smarter than me, right? You know, a model you can look at, or at least take something from, is the Actors Guild of America, because the actors are independent contractors, but they are unionized. But it's not your typical like steel workers or something like that. It's a whole different. It's a whole different vibe, because of the way an actor does his job in the first place. So there are people saying, okay, start with looking at the model of the Screen Actors Guild, and then not follow it by the letter of the law of it, but take that as a starting point to figure out
It's a great
something
idea.
to
There
make
are
these
ways.
kids look. You know what? There are ways if you want to do it. They just don't want to do
They
it.
don't want to do it.
Like Danny White. I remember Danny White was talking about this a while back as well, and then he got shut down because the universities don't want to do it. The NCAA doesn't want to do it. So they went to Danny. Hey, Danny, buddy, come here a minute.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
You ever seen The Godfather?
Right.
Let's talk, Danny.
Luca Brasi sleeps with the
So
fishes.
I think that again, man, you and I are gonna say this about a billion more times than we do it.
Yeah.
You can
But-
executive order.
Yeah.
You
Again, so
can petition Washington for antitrust exemptions. You can do all these things.
yeah. Again, what this may have a very temporary and limited effect, but long term, it's not.
Ready? Because you know what? You know what's more important than executive order? Winning.
Yeah.
Winning. So I'm sure the folks in Texas and Texas A&M and other schools around the country who lead winning or wanting to win are going to look at this and go, "Oh yeah, we got to stop doing
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
now.
it's not-
Executive order."
That's not.
No, they just called their lawyer and said, "We want to make sure." That's not a law, right? Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
That's where it is. Continuing our integrated media headlines of the day. We'll come back around to more of this in the drive around the SEC, but it is big enough for the headlines. Missouri today extended Coach Eli Drinkwitz through the 2029 season. The 42-year-old is now the seventh highest paid in the SEC, $9 million under his previous contract, which would have expired after 2028. So they have extended him by 1 year. The latest extension, according to the AP, also includes an increased salary pool for assistant coaches, strength and conditioning staff, and support personnel. Don't have anything in here right now. I'll try to find something from the local, this is more national, to see if his buyout numbers change in any way.
There's two things I want to hear: buyout number, and I want to hear this too. Is he also putting in the contract the guarantee that Missouri is going to hit the rev share numbers? Remember, a lot of coaches, that's what Penny Dillingham did at Arizona State to make sure in his contract is they have to go to the ceiling of rev share.
Right.
And again, Greg Sankey always says every SEC team is going to hit the ceiling in rev share. Well, okay, that's great. Greg Sankey's saying that, but are the schools going to back it up with that? I think Missouri will, obviously. You don't make this kind of investment in Drinkwitz without hitting the rev share ceiling. But that being said, if I'm Drinkwitz, I put that.
This doesn't answer your question directly, but this is the AD, Laird Beach, who says the consistent progress we've seen under Coach Drinkwitz's leadership is inspiring. This extension, along with increased investment in coaching and support, reflects our commitment to sustaining success at the highest level. It's all part of our will to win.
Well,
A clear statement. That
Well,
we're building championship.
if you've got a statement that says will to win, man, that's all I needed to know. As long as you've got yourself a motto, you're hitting the ceiling, right? Will to win, man. I wish somebody do this. Will to lose.
Right.
Dying to lose.
Or, hey, we will to
Be mediocre.
compete.
Will to do our best.
Justin Fields today was taken off the practice field of the New York Jets after hopefully avoiding serious injury. He is expected to be ready against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Jets said they would not, that he would not miss significant time, is now considered day-to-day. Initially, they said it was a lower leg injury that had him carted off.
Yeah.
But now they feel that perhaps it is simply more of a toe or foot issue relative to anything like an Achilles injury or
Right.
anything.
It was just
bad.
precautionary. They brought the old
Yeah.
card out and took him out of there. But
So
yeah, look, they'll use Tyrod Taylor.
The most intriguing person in the entire NFL. I think Shador is right there.
Yeah,
if
but
not
here's the
more.
thing.
If he plays, if he starts.
I just don't know when once he plays, you're right. It's Shador. But just seeing how effective
Oh yeah, I hear the station fine. He doesn't hear me. Yep. Talking.
Community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Welcome back to the Zach Gelb Show.
The waiting is over. Tomorrow, Happy Gilmore 2 will be streaming on Netflix. Chris Titone is an actor, he's a writer, and he's also Adam Sandler's brother-in-law. And he's kind enough to join us right now. Chris, appreciate it. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Zach? How are you? I'm so happy to be here.
First off, I sometimes get fooled by this stuff. So I'm looking at your background right now. I was the idiot when Zoom first really started to become a thing. Someone had a very fancy schmancy piano background, and I thought it was an actual background, but then it was just, done behind the screen and AI generated all that stuff. Is this the background or is this real life?
No, this is real life, man. This is what it is. It's not a background. You can see the ring light in the reflection.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. So I don't think I'm getting fooled and played here. Obviously, everyone's excited for Happy Gilmore 2 to come out. We're all kind of waiting and anticipating what it's going to be. But take me back to when the OG did come out. Where were you in life, and what do you remember about it back in 1996?
So, dude, I'm excited. Everyone's excited. I'm excited. I was 13 when the first one came out. So to be in the second one is like mind blowing,
Yeah. So your story is just like nuts here, right? And you're an actor, you're a writer, and you're Adam Sandler's brother-in-law. Like that's how we have to introduce you. So when your sister, I guess, started dating Adam Sandler, what was that like?
Well, I mean, they started dating 30 years ago. So I was 14.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No one really. I mean, he was well known, of course, but not like he is now. He's the guy on SNL. More of Andy Samberg.
So you're basically right. You're a fan of the movie, and then your sister is dating Adam, and eventually gets married. To now be in this now, you almost just got to pinch yourself. Like how did it? Obviously, right? You're in the business, you know Adam, so it's easy to get in the movie. But how did that all go about? How you're in this one?
Well, this one, Adam is really his best friend. He writes everything. They wanted to make sure it was as good or better than the first one. They wrote the first one together. So I was lucky to be in it at all. He just texted me and said, "Hey, I got a role for you," and I'm so happy because all those little like 3 or 4 line roles went to celebrities. Went to Travis Kelce or the Bad Bunny, or the M&Ms, or John Daly has a big role. So I'm really excited to be in it at all.
Now, I was told he beats you up on this one. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I get beat up. Dude, so okay, so I'm already excited to like be in the movie, but Happy Gilmore beat me up, dude. Like 2 minutes in, 2 minutes in, by the way. So I have a wig on.
803-677-1500. Roy and Dana Finley and the crew will get one of their great techs into the house, and within a couple of days, you've got yourself a brand new system. $1,500 system buyback, 15-year parts and labor guarantee, 12 months, no payments or interest, and they guarantee that they can get you financed. So if you are ready to stay nice and cool, and you know when it matters, nice and warm, and do it for more than a decade, AAA Heating and Air is ready to help you. They've done great work in my house. In fact, very recently, they can do it for you too. 803-677-1500, AAA Heating and Air.
Available. Don't miss it. Experience the legacy. Experience Heritage Christian Academy.
By Game TV, sponsored by Shepherd's Glass for auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com in Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV, sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 1075 The Game app and stream us for free.
It's time for our drive around the SEC on the postgame show.
Georgia on the mountaintop. Demons be gone, and the drought is over. National champions.
On the Game Network and on 1075 The Game app.
Around the SEC time on this Thursday. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you live at the Nest here on Gadsden Street in the Vista. Mentioned this in the top of the hour headlines, but we'll mention it again. Eli Drinkwitz today had his contract extended through the 2029 season. It will give him a bump in pay. Let me see here. Last year, again, he was the seventh highest paid coach at right around $9 million. So it doesn't. All we know is that he's been extended and that he's been given a raise, and that there will be increased salary for his assistants and the support staff. So
we haven't heard.
Still waiting on the exact numbers, the buyout,
the numbers,
like
and
that.
did he put any rev share language in the contract?
Right.
We haven't heard. Here's my question to you, sir.
Yes.
Why now?
Because he's a commodity.
But my point is, are you getting, or is this the preemptive strike? Because in your mind, if he has a good season, now you're really going to have to pay him to fight off.
Part of that, and I think part of it is going into the school year, you show support for him. Going into the school year, you tell recruits that Coach Green is going to be here for you, and that we're here for him.
More important, the transfer portal guys in the future.
All of it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a good time to do it. But you and I talked about this, and a lot of us, we talked with others who were in the conference about this last week in media days. And listen, buyout language and buyout numbers are what they are, and schools often work within those parameters to make things happen. If one of, and because again, he's not going to go. I'm just going to use an example here. Eli Drinkwitz, if Kirk Ferentz retired tomorrow, Eli's not moving up the road to Iowa City, right? But if and again, totally hypothetical here, so everybody bear with me. If Steve Sarkisian next season was hired by the 49ers,
Or let's say it doesn't work out for Venables at Oklahoma.
or that, then I can see that type of step
Yeah.
up. He's not going to step sideways, and he's not going to go a little bit up. Like again,
Why? I mean, you're getting a lot of stuff in Missouri. They're putting $250 million in
Yeah.
facilities. They're giving you, they're going to give you a bump in pay. Obviously, they're
Like it's a big school. They got money. They just don't. They just that state. Like people that went there care about their school, but that state, to the east, they are St. Louis Cardinals fans. To the west, they are Kansas City Chiefs fans and Royals. But that's where the passion of sports fans in Missouri lies. And there's nothing wrong with that because the Cardinals are historically great. The Chiefs have become one of the premier franchises in the NFL, and as long as Mahomes and Andy are there, then they're going to be. The Royals have their passionate following. So Mizzou sports is going to be like,
don't forget the St. Louis Blues for a thing.
yeah, the Blues won the cup a few years back. So again, it's just like, yeah, Mizzou. But now it's you're in the SEC.
You got to pony it up,
got
man.
money.
Here's my thought always is, especially now in the script share world. Look, you and I tried to get in this negotiation room with Eli in Missouri, and they wouldn't let us. Right? We tried. You made some calls. You did a good job.
Told them I had a bunch of cool shoes.
Hey, we got shish kebab.
Yeah.
Let us come in. It's just the idea that, especially in a rev share world, if you are starting to give these contracts, what are we seeing now with some of these contracts? We're hearing, yeah, but you can't get rid of this guy because of his buyout. You can't get rid of this guy because of a buyout. All right, look how much money you're going to have to pay off and then go hire a new staff. When I first looked at all these, and they're all fluid, right? But okay, Drinkwitz has had 2 very good years in a row. I give him his props. It seems like he's got it going on. So I see paying him. But push him aside for a minute. You better be writing these contracts even more now than ever. Because if you're wrong, man, and you got the buyout from hell to deal with, and you got to keep a guy, and he's treading water or drowning slowly, and you're stuck because in a rev share world, you can't write that check because now your finances are totally different. And yeah, you can go chase the boosters, but then guess what? Now the boosters pay money to get rid of your coach. Guess what the boosters can't do now? Pay money to help you get players and win games. And look, this isn't about Drinkwitz. This is about just in general.
Yeah.
You better be right today, man.
Yeah.
Have I lost my mind?
No, you haven't. You're right. That's where it is. But I'm looking forward to see what the numbers are. Where they put him. I mean, if he was 7th already, are we getting Coach Drink into the top 5?
See, okay, let's play that game. All right, let's do it. Kirby, obviously. Sarkisian, obviously.
Kelly.
Kelly, obviously. Lane.
Stoops.
And Stoops.
Stoops is
our boy in Alabama's making some.
Kalen DeBoer. I don't know if he's where. I mean, Stoops is making too much.
Yes. Hey, we know who the most overpaid coach in the SEC is. That one's easy.
Yeah. So
that's easy. So who's he going to? I know it's like paying franchise quarterbacks. At your turn, you usually go up a pecking order.
Wasn't it like Les Miles had something in his contract that as soon as someone became the highest paid coach in the country, like he had to at least have that by $1 or something.
Yeah. Remember that? That was a pretty hilarious little thing in his contract. All right, let me see here. All right.
I think we nailed the top 5.
I think we did okay here. Okay, Kirby and George is making 13.2, almost 13.3. Sark is at 10.6. DeBoer's at 10.25.
Okay, so DeBoer is that high.
Yeah, and then you're moving on. Brian Kelly is almost at 10. Stoops is at 9. Drink was at 9 before this. Heupel's at 9 as well. Lane's at 9. And then Shane's at 8-1.
So Stoops is going to move. He'll move at least past.
He'll go past Stoops. And probably, all right, so he's sitting at 9. He'll go past Stoops. I don't think he gets past Brian Kelly.
Which is where?
9-9.
Not yet.
9.97.
They'll probably get him close.
9.5. We think 9.5. 9.75
they'll
probably.
Get him close. They'll get him close.
So.
All right. Well, we'll see. But anyway, Eli Drinkwitz. extended by 1 year. I guess that's the what you can do, 5-year deal. So that's where he is right now.
And you said it goes up as the years go along
Yeah.
as well.
Start bench drop, Masters Sunday, Rose Bowl, Super Bowl. Lots of you weighing in. Thank you. Franklin says start the Super Bowl, bench the Rose Bowl, drop Masters Sunday. He says I've been to Augusta on Sunday. I would have started any other day. I get it. I get it. Steven says start the Rose Bowl, bench the Masters, cut the Super Bowl. And again, I'm specific to Masters Sunday when they put on a green jacket. Jason, start the Super Bowl, bench the Masters, drop the Rose Bowl. Steven says the same thing. Start the Super Bowl, bench the Masters, drop the Rose Bowl. Paul Taylor says, come on, Jay. Masters on Sunday trump all sporting events. The other two, especially what was a mandated Pac-12 Big 12 matchup, should be spoken in the same sense.
Where are you going?
I am starting. Here's the thing. Franklin's right. Masters on Sunday, because I've been to the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather be at home watching the Masters on television than be there on Sunday. That being said, for this exercise, I'm going to start.
Okay.
I'm going to bench the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
And I'm going to drop the Super Bowl. Unless the Denver Broncos are playing in the Super Bowl, I got less than zero interest in ever going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, I'll say I got to go by what I've experienced. I've never been to the Masters on a Sunday. That's my stuff. I've never been to a Rose Bowl. That's my bet. I have been to the craziness that is Super Bowl week and all that stuff. And I've talked to enough people in this world. I've not actually gone in to watch the Super Bowl. I've done Super Bowl weeks, media. I have been told I'm missing something.
Yeah. Unless
go watch the game on TV.
Yeah,
So
if the Broncos are playing, I want to go to a Super Bowl. But otherwise, could not care less.
I'll start a little bit Rose Bowl.
We're in agreement. All right.
Our buddy,
Graham's going to
jump
jump
in here. We're going to hang out here and talk about kitchens and stuff.
Cook. My wife.
Exactly. And Graham's got the credit card. So what Graham's going to buy me with your credit card?
Nice. I'm pulling for you, my man. I'm pulling for you. You're listening to the Post Game Show.
We're hanging here at the post-game show, wrapping this baby up. We've had shrimp and we've had steak and went to this fruit garden and pulled some fruit. You know, I mean, you squeezed your own lemonade. You are a genius, my friend.
All for you, Terry. All for you, buddy.
Everybody, Graham, from the Nest. Our sponsor today, which I said the name right sometimes, I said the name wrong sometimes because you know what? I don't know good, high-quality stuff. So tell us who was so kind to be our sponsor.
Today's event was sponsored by Decor, which is one of our luxury brand appliance brands that we carry. And believe it or not, we've been here 10 years. And Decor's been with us the entire time. We wouldn't be where we are today without our relationship with Decor.
I love them because the food was ridiculous.
Well, like
it was good, man. I think we should have just shish kebab Thursday. Every Thursday. Now we just go shish kebab.
Fine by me.
We'll go crazy, do the show, and we'll just go insane.
Absolutely.
I like it. Just, no more of this healthy stuff. We just need shish kebabs and cookies.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, 100%.
So, in all seriousness, I mean, we come here and you and I have the same conversation about how great this place is and how I love it, how I could live here. You guys would let me, but a guy walking around in his pajamas would be creepy during business hours. But like, for example, let's talk about decor. Decor. Look at me, decor. I'm a wild man. I'm a fancy man now. If someone wanted to check into this suite of appliances, what would they do?
Well, of course, come here, see me. I believe we have probably one of the largest displays in Columbia for sure. And, I'll go over